Morning, everyone. I sure hope it's a great day for you guys. Starting out real good so far. Got parent-teacher conferences this afternoon. I never thought that I would say that. But I'm glad that I can say that, and I'm proud of the grandkids. They're doing spectacular. But I have noticed that, man, there's still a lot of people on the Trump train. A lot of posts lately about Trump. Still yard signs all over the country. Pretty much everywhere I go, you bet there's a Trump sign. So let's talk about Trump. Let's talk about my opinion, what I've seen, what he's done, what he hasn't done. And I had to take notes. Holy smokes. There's a lot of notes. There's a lot. I'm on my way to St. Joe, Michigan, so I got about 35, 40 minutes. I don't know if it's going to go that long. It might. But let's talk about this fella. First off, you got to be brutal to become a billionaire. You got to be brutal to become a billionaire twice. I know you guys remember the interview where he said, if I ever run, I'm going to run as a Republican. Dude's been a Democrat his entire life. Then runs for Republican. Campaign promise after campaign promise. Executive orders. He gets in. I voted for him. I didn't vote for him a second time, but I did vote for him. I messaged him or his page or whatever. I said, dude, I voted for you. I'm going to watch you like a hawk. It did not take long. And I was going, oh, man, we're in trouble. Let's talk about Inauguration Day. His first day at his gala. He calls out to the back room and says, oh, look, there's Bill and Hillary Clinton. Stand up, guys. You've done so much for this country. I love you guys. They're good people. That one right there, man, I knew we were in trouble when I heard that. And the fun begins. I know you've all, I don't know if you have or not, man, if you've seen the article, the interview with him in his office, Trump Tower. He's going around talking about all of his awards from Israel. He got the Tree of Life Award from Israel. Israel, the ones that have been bombing and killing an unarmed nation for years. Palestine. I don't even know if this video is going to make it. We're going to give it a shot. I might have to save this one to my BitChute channel. But I'm stating facts and in my opinion. So to my FBI guy, pay attention, man, because this involves you too. Alright, so where else are we? Trump gets in office. Signed a bunch of executive orders. One of them should have been, right off the get-go, reinstating the Smith-Muntz Modernization Act. If you do not know what the Smith-Muntz Act is, you have to look it up. That was passed after World War II because that's how Germany, the German government, was able to get most of the people on board with World War II and the killing of Jews. There was constant propaganda against the German people, brainwashing them into believing that the Jews were the cause of all the problems. So after the war, the United States passed a law that the United States federal government could not use propaganda against its citizens. Then comes along Barack Obama. No, I did not vote for that guy. He passes the Smith-Muntz Modernization Act, which allows the United States federal government, CIA, FBI, you name it, to legally use propaganda against the American citizen. Look it up. Fact. Media, the news, magazines, television, social media, and anything that deals with the public can be used to propagandize against us whenever they want, however they want. Movies is a big one. He could have, that would have been huge. That would have been huge. You sign a whole bunch of frickin' executive orders. Why not reinstate that? That's one of the biggest things against us right now. The mainstream media can get right on the news, straight up lie to your face, and not be held accountable. They might have to put in a retraction, but it's legal to lie to us, propagandize. He never did that. How about the red flag laws? Let's talk about those. But we'll take the guns first and then worry about due process. about the shooter or the police. They knew about him. Here's the problem with the red flag laws, okay? If my neighbor gets pissed at me, I light my burn pile on fire, the smoke goes in his house. You name it. My leaves blow in his yard. Just name it. My grandkids are too loud playing basketball or playing outside all the time. If they get pissed, they can literally call the cops on me and say that they're scared of me. I know he has guns. Can you come check him out? That right there gives the law enforcers permission to come out and investigate, confiscate, jail me until my trial, which I promise you will not be speedy or fair because of the red flag laws. All you got to do is make a false accusation. So there's your red flag laws. Unconstitutional. There's no way around it. It's unconstitutional. What else we got? Then comes COVID. Right? Let's declare a state of emergency to flatten the curve for 2 weeks. So now we're under a state of emergency, which gives the FDA permission to use experimental shots on the American citizens. We're not even going to get into all of the patents and the gain of function research and the labs. We're not even going to get into that. Let's just talk about the state of emergency. Lockdown, 2 weeks, flatten the curve. That messed the United States up, let alone the world. So now, government is listening to the WHO, World Health Organization. Which is alright, so there's that. Then comes warp speed. Remember that? Remember that? He's still pushing that to this day. Just watch some of his Just watch some of his videos. He's still pushing it. Then comes the COVID relief bill. Remember when he was sitting around with all his fat cat friends, laughing, saying, I've never signed anything with a T before. $6.2 trillion. If you have any idea what $1 trillion is, it takes 1,000 million to make 1 billion. Just think of that. 1,000 million is 1 billion. So 1,000 billion is 1 trillion. Boom. $6.2 trillion. Full of pork. Full of pork. Oh my God, full of pork. Some of that money, well, $82 billion of it went to Planned Parenthood. I think $14 million went to transgender story hour for children in schools. That thing was so full of pork, it was insane. Infuriating spending. $6.2 trillion. I never signed anything with a T before. The only thing that he did that I can remember was the healthcare bill, the Healthcare Act, which lowered prescription costs drastically. So if insulin users dancing in the street, they're of course Biden Day was the first week Biden repealed that. But as far as I can remember, that is the only thing he did. Oh wait, we got that little bit of a tax cut. Remember that? We got a little bit of a tax cut while he was pissing away money. I mean, spending money. We gotta pass it to see what's in it. Alright, so then later on down the road, he extended the national state of emergency, which kept the power for the World Health Organization, the what's the American, not the World Health Organization, but the other one, not the FDA. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, it was the CDC. Still gave the power to the CDC to make recommendations, which they're still, dude, you can turn on the TV. If you turn on the TV, the radio, you name it, you can still hear or see COVID vaccinations commercials. Fact. Not my opinion, fact. I can't remember what the last time he did it or said it, but he was up on stage doing one of his 2024 campaign speeches and was still talking about the shot. Not my opinion, fact. Are you still with me, FBI? Is my FBI agent still out there? There you are. Okay. Now he's talking about how still pushing the red flag laws. That's still going on. And now he's talking about bump stocks and all that stuff. Infringing on the Second Amendment. Guys, this guy does not care. He's just like another politician. He's going to say all kinds of sweet stuff. Because if I was president, you'd be in jail. Then he gets inaugurated. There's Bill and Hillary. Such good people. You've done so much for the American people. Stand up. We've been had, man. And it'll be the same way again. It's going to be the same way again. I know this one's long. I'm sorry. But I keep seeing posts. I keep hearing about it. Right? I'm done. I'm not voting anymore. No one guy is going to save this thing. No, there's no way to have enough good people in government to change it to where it needs to be. It's not going to happen. You're looking at at least 1,300 good people. Not going to happen. I can't believe what's going on with January 6th. How can you not allow video evidence submitted in your trial on your defense, and then, for instance, one guy got sentenced to 4 years in prison. The same guy they led around. They let him in. They walked him around. It was a guided tour by the Capitol Police. A guided tour by the Capitol Police. Then he goes to the jumped up trials and gets 4 years. If that's true. Because I don't believe anything. I don't believe anything. You know, Tucker Carlson, he's been on a roll lately and it sounds great. But so did Trump. He sounded great too. We've been buffaloed, guys. And I refuse to vote. I will not participate in this corrupt government. So you can say I have the right not to bitch all you want. But as I try to separate from the state, separate from the state, I want nothing to do with it. And no, I'm not a sovereign citizen. I do not work for the police. I do not work for the government. Those are the people that believe the laws don't apply to them. And show it constantly through their actions. That was one of my quotes too. By their fruits shall you know their labors. Is that right? By the fruits of their labors shall you know who they are. And that's where we're at. I know this is a rant, man, and I wish no harm upon anybody. But you gotta wake up. You gotta open your eyes. You have to realize that there's no way that this guy is on our side. I'm sorry, guys. I know you want hope. I want hope too. But I'm not getting it from the government. I promise you that. And the people that enforce these laws, I know there's some good ones out there that do the right things. Not very many. Not very many. So when something's going down that isn't right by a law enforcer, and the other law enforcers don't do anything to stop it, they're just as guilty. Just as guilty. I pray and pray and pray that the police, the sheriffs, wake up when things get worse. Because it's gonna be one of our only hopes, is that we actually band together. Well, which reminds me, I am not trying to separate us. That's my last, dude. That's the last thing I want to do. All I'm trying to do Just put it in your mind that 45 is not as, he's not a god. He's not gonna, I'm telling you, man, we're buffaloed. We're buffaloed. Last thing I want to do is make any separation with us, because that'll be it. That'll be it. So we have to stick together, all of us. Blue, purple, black, white, brown. If we don't figure it out with the quickness, it's not going to be good. I think we're still under a state of emergency because Biden extended it again. Then he's trying to sign that treaty with the HWO. The only reason these people have power is because we let them. Praying for you, praying for the world. Peace.